Good evening. I call this regular meeting of the Pharr Memorial Library Board to order. Today is Thursday, July 17th, and the time is 6:01 p.m. Can we have roll call, please? Present.
Anita Vela. Darita Trejo. Absent.
Absent.
Rosana Gutierrez.
Present.
Cristina Espinosa.
Present.
Diana Cuevas. Absent. Delia Sosa.
Present.
Jolie Sanchez.
Present.
Marisela Cortez. Absent. Itza Flores.
Present.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Do we have a motion to excuse the absent members?
I motion. I second.
Okay, next item on the agenda is hold on. Approval of the minutes for May 15th.
Move to approve. I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Now we have the library board the library director's report.
Thank you, Olga. I appreciate the time you give me. Thanks again. Normally we meet every other month. July is the month when we meet. It usually falls right at the end of our summer reading program. So Children's is going to cover some of the information on the summer reading program and some of the final numbers. But I'll go ahead and get started. My report is indicated on your packet as library director's report. I'll go ahead and get started. Some of the statistics as far as door count. We've had an extraordinary number of people who have visited our library. Year to date from October 1 to end of June, 133,698 at the main library. At the DRC library, 15,097. So a grand total of 148,795. Now that's very significant. We've already, it's more than what we had last year, the whole year. So we still have 3 more months left in the fiscal year. So certainly we've surpassed our library visits to both the DRC and the main library. I would like to mention the main library is certainly surpassed the last year's number. The DRC is still hanging on, about the same as last year, but the numbers have certainly increased at our main library. And I think it's because of the quality of children's programming that we've had over here, and people are just coming out to visit us on a daily basis. And there's other factors. I mean, we do have one of the only cafes in the area, and we have very affordable, I guess, products that we sell there. And of course, our books and our computers, our staff. Not to mention the hours, we're open every day of the week. So on a daily basis, people frequent our library. And circulation, these are the books and transactions that happen at the front desk. 41,296 at the main library, and at the DRC, 4,507. And we do have some revenues at the library, even though everything is very low cost, and it's more of an added value. At the main library, 30,000 this year to date, 30,859. At DRC library revenues, 5,554, and the cafe 121 certainly has surpassed last year's revenues. We're at 17,668, total of a little bit over $54,000. That is quite significant. We've already surpassed last year's, and we're only 9 months into the fiscal year. So these are just normally the services that we charge for at the library. Some of those are fines, of course. People sometimes forget to bring back their books. but most of it has to do with the printouts, copies, faxing, and also the cafe, of course, that has surpassed the amount of revenues that from last year. Any questions so far on library visits? Keep in mind, the DRC only counts the people going into the library, not the entire building. The entire building is something else. Of course, we use it for other purposes. You know, there's water bill payments. The bridge has an office there. Parks and Rec uses the facility, and of course, all the other meetings that the committee uses at in our in the other meeting, the big conference rooms that we have. I'll cover that in the DRC report that Mike's supposed to report on. Library budget, we're at 62%. Year-to-date expenses, a little bit over $1 million and 29,480. And overall budget, 1,668,400. Certainly, one of the tasks that we had this year is to keep our budget in the black. I think we've been doing a good job. 60%, we're supposed to be at about 75% of our budget. We've been keeping really good track of our spending. That's one of the directives that we've had from our city manager, just to make sure that we have good control of all of our expenditures. Our book budget is pretty healthy. However, we do need to move some money into that account so that we can cover the rest of the fiscal year, which would be July, August, and September. But as far as all the other expenses at the library, we've been keeping them at a very minimal, so that we can not only have enough money for the rest of the fiscal year, but also keep it in the black. So we're not overspending, and we're not really underspending, just keeping it right on track. So we're at 62% of our budgeted expenses. A little bit of the recap. We've hosting a lot of summer reading programs, a lot of library programs in reference and in children's. And I think Ruby and Paula will cover those more in detail, and some of the things that we've already done throughout the summer. We've already also, we're also, because we're part of Hidalgo County Library System, otherwise known as HCLS, every year we receive funding to cover our integrated library system. That's the software that we use to keep track of all of our books, check-ins, check-outs, and the catalog that we use for that people can look and search for the materials that we have, not only in our library, but all the participant libraries in the county. And whatever money's left over, we distribute that money evenly among all the 13 libraries, and that's a little bit over $12,000 after expenses. So we just received that back in June. And we get that every year from the county. And I just want to go ahead and give a big thank you to the county. And we've also participated in multiple city events with police department at the police memorial. We had a very good turnout at Cody's birthday party, which was held here at Downtown Park. And we've also, because we don't work by ourselves, we're also city department. We go ahead and help out other departments like Public Works. When they had their Public Works Week, we go ahead and set up a table and promote our summer reading program, because they bring a lot of students during that day to see what Public Works does throughout the city. So, just a little courtesy, so that we end up working together as a library and other city departments. And we also hosted 2 Galleria 121 events, and Paula will have that information. And we're hosting FEMA as a result of the floods that happened back in March. Of course, it was very unfortunate, but luckily we have FEMA who stepped in due to the disaster declaration. So they're set up at the DRC at the moment, and I think they'll be leaving at the end of next week. And they're providing disaster relief for all of our citizens who suffered during those floods. And just finished submitting our new budget for the fiscal year 25-26. We do work, next year's budget. I mean, I know you may think it's kind of early, but, we need to finalize it before the end. We have to finalize it before the end of June, and these are the things that we normally ask for that are needed at the library, not necessarily a want, but what's needed to make sure that we keep the library um, going for the next fiscal year. Nothing on the personnel side. I think we're well covered with personnel, but just the overall operations of the library. The library is already getting dated. We're moving into almost 20 years into the building. So some of the things do get dated, like carpeting, we already worked on the furniture, as you all know. We do have some new furniture in children's and in reference and in some of the public areas. But a big ask this time are the computers, both for the main library, the staff, and also the DRC. DRC computers are already at their 7th year. We have about 24, about 28 computers at the DRC, public computers, plus the staff computers. So I've been advised by our IT department, in order to keep our work orders down, we need to ask for more computers because they're already end of life. So we don't necessarily are going to be able to keep them going for another year, because if they break down, they break down. There's really no more support for them. It's just a matter of if we replace them now, we'll have new computers for the next 5 to 6 years. And the ones at the main library are at the 6-year mark as well. So they're already also at the end of life. Altogether, we're asking for about 99 computers for the public and about 12 computers for the staff. So just to keep all of the library working and to provide the quality service that we normally provide to our patrons. And of course, one of the things that I'm really asking for is to repair, one of the things that we asked for last year is repair some of the stucco crowning on the main building, which I don't have the pictures here, but one of the things that needs serious repair is the stucco that's on the very top of the building. You can't really tell if you're on the ground level, but if you go to the roof and see some of the damage that's been caused, not necessarily by weather, but it's getting a little dated. A lot of the stucco is cracking, so we don't want the stucco to crack even more, and make it into more of a problem next year. So hopefully this year we'll have enough funding to cover those repairs. Sorry that I'm looking at you, Commissioner, but
And they're needed because our community, I mean, they use them. I run into a lot of people, and I work for a school district,
Yes.
and they're always wanting to come to the library as well.
yes. I mean, we try to keep it as fresh looking, but washing only does so much. But the repairs will do a lot more in keeping it from becoming more in disrepair. I don't want any more damage caused, I guess, internally by the cracked stucco. So that'll need some serious attention this year.
Yeah.
Because we already
And-
waited 1 year. I don't want to wait another year.
And that's what I was going to say, because we just need to maintain it. If we don't maintain, then it's going to be either a bigger cost or it's going to be a bigger issue.
It could be a bigger issue next year. So.
And we need those computers.
And of course, the public
I
needs the
know,
computers.
yes, they do,
End of
'cause they're
life
always-
is coming up at the, actually, end of September is the end of life for all the computers at the main library. So support for Microsoft's not going to be there. They run on Windows 10, from what IT has told me, and there's going to be no more support for Windows 10 anymore.
Absolutely.
Just an FYI.
Oh, my.
And that's part of the budget. It's a process, and it's one of the big asks and it's one of the things that we have to do anyway. Planning the next big event is one of our signature events, Lucha Libros at the DRC, August 17th. So if you're a fan of reading, and if you're a fan of wrestling, it's more American wrestling than Mexican wrestling, but we kind of do a plain words to make sure it's motivate kids to continue reading and also have something fun before they go back to school. I don't know exactly when the school, kids go back to school, the exact date, but I know it's around that time. So we want to motivate kids, have a little event for families to bring them out right before they go back to school. We give out free books, have some market vendors, and just overall good, just a nice time for families to come out to the DRC and have a little family time before they send the kids back to school. And they'll get a free book, brand new from the South Texas Literacy Coalition. So we certainly, if you haven't been to one of those events, I certainly will invite you, and we'll invite the public to head out to the DRC on August 17th from 5 p.m. to about 9 p.m. So it's a 3 to 4 hour event. Doors open at 5. Ring time is at 6. And from what I hear, we're bringing a former WWE, not necessarily champion, but wrestler for sure. So.
The kids will like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the kids will like it. That's not our next big event. One of the things that we still need to do, and we haven't finished for this fiscal year as far as repairs, resealing the entire parking lot and restriping the entire parking lot so it doesn't go through any more. I guess just to keep it looking nice, or keep it looking new. So that's one of the components of making sure the library keeps looking nice for the next few more years. So the parking lot is just one of those components of keeping a nice looking library here at the main and also at the DRC. So that will be done, from what I hear, in the next couple of weeks from our Public Works Department. As soon as the summer reading program's done at the end of this month, we are going to have a steam cleaning company come in and clean the entire children's area so that it's right before we start the school year, everything's nice and clean. And then after that, the rest of the library will be cleaned as well. So all of the carpeting, I'm hoping to finish it before the end of this fiscal year. It's part of the regular maintenance. We want, since we don't have, there may not be enough funds to cover recarpeting the entire library, we have enough funds to just cover the regular maintenance. And of course, one of the things we also will be doing is updating the landscaping here and hopefully at the DRC before the end of the fiscal year. And like I mentioned, there's 3 more months left in the fiscal year. So hopefully that I can plan with enough time with the staff to get those things done, because they were part of this fiscal year's budget. I'm going to cover some of the things that going on at the DRC because Mike's not here. So you can proceed to the next item on the agenda. Events held at the DRC for the month of May 2025. CBP monthly meetings have been going on in May. Well, and also, I don't know, if Mother's Day event and Mother's Day celebration. There's some pictures there. We had kind of like a concert for all the mothers. Of course, it was an event for the entire city of Pharr, but a lot of the mothers from South Pharr came out to that Mother's Day event at the DRC. And Police Academy graduation with the police department. Hurricane preparedness event from our events department also was held there. And CBP annual business resumption tabletop exercises. And for the month of June, we have FEMA disaster recovery. It's the DRC at the DRC. So the DRC was converted to a disaster recovery center to make sure people are going there to receive assistance with anything that was damaged during the unfortunate floods in mainly in South Pharr, and not only South Pharr but other areas in the county. So it was kind of like a headquarters for people to go and receive assistance. And like I said, they'll be there through the end of next week. If you still know people who haven't gone or approached the FEMA for assistance, please let them know that next week will be the last week, from what we've been told. And Pharr, even though there was FEMA was using the conference rooms, we were able to accommodate the fire department to do car seat training in the big exhibit hall in the week of the 23rd through the 27th. They were there hosting training for other firefighters in the area to help them with car seat issues and rescues. So, all right, any questions on some of the stats and things going on, operations and financial statistics? If not, I'll go ahead and give my time to Paola. She'll cover some of the teen events and adult events, and you'll be pleasantly surprised with a lot of things that we've been doing throughout summer.
Thank
Paola?
you.
Good afternoon.
Good
My name is,
afternoon.
thank you. My name is Paula Del Angel, and I'm the reference supervisor for the Pharr Memorial Library. And I will be covering the teen and adult programs and events report for the months of May and June. And as you can see, we doubled the typical amount of programs that are being offered at the library on a regular basis just because it's summer and we wanted to provide our patrons with different activities to do throughout the summer to participate and engage. Also in combination with the summer reading program, which was also part of, activities were also part of what we did, more than just encouraging for sure the level of reading and through the teens participating in reading. We had the traditional arts and crafts that we typically do. As you can see here, I would like to highlight or touch on two, just because those were specifically led by outside partners. The drawing workshop happening during 3 different sessions for teens only was led by a volunteer local artist, Mr. Celerino Castillo, and he was very kind to donate a part of his time and his expertise on drawing, and we had a really good turnout. We had a total of 23 teens participating in that one. Also, and the following is the drawing and coloring workshop in collaboration with the Mexican consulate, who reached out to us, encouraging kids and teens ages 6 to 14 from all over the world to enter Mexico's annual drawing contest. And that was a good turnout as well. I would be mentioning more about them because they reached out to us and they participated in a few more events with us. And that happens in the next item, which is the adults, which is the consulado sessions. They are having a table every Saturday of the month, the first Saturday of the month, and they are offering free information to the public, providing free information about their services, and we've had a good turnout in that people have been attending to answer the questions. So it's been good for the public. We've gotten a lot of calls from them requesting more information about when they're there. And also the Blueprint for Success and Self-Mastery is in you. That is a conference, and as well is being led, and I say is being led because he's still doing it for the months of July and August, I believe. It's a local community member as well that is a life coach and pastor, and he has been offering free motivational life coaching sessions for the public and for free, for sure. And he has been having good attendance as well. He's offering it twice a month. And of course, our regular computer assistance program that we have and the 3 book clubs that we host. The Beyond Borders Book Club took a summer vacation, so they were not present, and I believe it was June, but they showed up on May, and everybody else was attending as usual. And then for the mixed programming and events on the next page, as well, we had arts and crafts, but we also held three, well, different a variety of options for a public, but we did have a Meet the Author, which was very successful, and that was probably the most successful when it comes to attendance participants. We had 63 people showing up for Mr. Reynaldo Martinez's local author presenting his Roll the Credits book, which is about PSJ, the story of PSJA TV. And our community was very happy to learn more about his legacy, as well as the Lorenzo Lore Garcia Memorial Exhibit that we held at the library, at the Galleria. And it was consisted of a photographic exhibition presenting Mr. Lorenzo Garcia's life and impact in the community. And that was presented by his son, Mr. His name just escaped my mind, but it's one of his sons and a friend of his as well, Mr. Castillo, who also created an art piece for that specific exhibit. Mr. Javier Garcia, his son. And then we had another author presentation on May, Mr. Anthony Parker, with his YA fiction self-published works, because he has written, he has a good variety of books presenting, so we also had a good turnout. We offered our graduation pictures as well, as we typically do. We did have a little bit of a low turnout for that one. Typically, it's a little bit more successful, but we did notice that maybe it was because of the date it was set. Perhaps people were already out on vacations. Perhaps, different factors that could have come into place for that one, for sure. We offered a grab-and-go arts and crafts every Sundays. And we saw that people were happy to participate in those. It's pretty much consisted of granting them an opportunity or community to access arts and crafts without the pressures of time, having to be there at a specific time. So they would just come pick up their kids and then work at home or at the library at their own pace and time. So we thought that was very accessible, and sure enough, they showed up. We also had a traveling exhibit presentation as well in coordination with the Mexico's Consulado in McAllen. And they featured Mexico's annual children's drawing contest from 2022 and 2023, the winners from all over the world. And this is children, again, from 6 years old to 14 years old. It's still being displayed at the Galleria, so we encourage you to go visit it. It's a total of 79 pieces drawn by them from all over the world. And we also, if you go to the next page, you will see a few of the pictures that we chose to feature or highlight for the events that I've been speaking about. Your top right actually depicts a recognition that one of our community partners, MHP Salud, gave the library, and Mr. Garcia there on behalf of the library received it, and it was just a recognition for the help that we provide so that they can make appointments and inform the public of free community resources or resources that deal with health or how to enter the health marketplace. So that is a good service that they're being offered through them. And also the lower right picture, that is the coloring and drawing workshop that was held at the library. And next to me is the consul, the Mexican consul himself, Mr. Frolan Yesca Cedillo. And he attended himself. He wanted to know the library and be acquainted with the library as well. Unfortunately, who wasn't able to attend the actual exhibition presentation, but he was there on a Saturday to visit us and to talk to us, and they did as well give us a certificate of recognition for our willingness to participate with them in their various services that they provide and to create this partnership together. And the exhibit next to that picture to your left, that is a part of the exhibit that we're currently displaying up until August the 1st. And then the next page is just showing our July calendar, the remaining of the month's activities and our upcoming events as well, which is July the 25th, the Summer Reading Program Party, This is the teen edition because, of course, we have already a well-established children's pool party that will be discussed and addressed by Ruby for the children's department. But this would be the first time that, in coordination with them and with their guidance and help, the reference department will celebrate the teens who completed reading at least 10 books with a party at the Pharr Aquatic Center. So we're very excited about it. We're looking forward to it, and you're more than welcome to join us. And last but not least, on July the 31st, the Club de Lectura, which is the Spanish book club that we have, Spanish language book club, they'll be having their own, they're going to be leading a workshop that is that is going to be talking about emotions, right? It's called Diario de Emociones, and they will offer like a emotion journaling workshop focusing on the importance of emotions. And this event is available to the public ages 16 and up. Club membership is not required, but they will be promoting their club. As of today, I've been told by them that they've been just promoting it, word of mouth, and they already have 20 people signed up.
Wow.
We haven't even gotten the flyer out, and they already have 20 people signed up for that, so we hope to have a good turnout for that one as well. And that is it for the reference department. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them or comments.
Just want to say thank you, Ms. Elanca, to you and your team for such creative programming, with events such as Meet the Author and for the Teen Art Workshop. So thank you all for your hard work.
Thank you. Okay, that is it. Thank you. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you. Likewise.
Well, congratulations to our reference department with Paula's team. We're able to bring good programming. The Meet the Authors have been very popular. Now we have one of our very own staff members who wrote a book, science fiction. She'll be doing Santia Cantu. She currently is a part-timer at the DRC, and she'll be exhibiting her book and telling us about her book, hopefully next month. Yes, so we'll hopefully send out a flyer so that some people can attend. She's a product, of course, of PSJA. She went to Texas State and got her master's in writing. She was a full-timer, but now she's a part-timer, so she could dedicate more time to her writing, and now wants to showcase her book there at the library because we've been very fortunate to have her and give her an opportunity to both work and also for her to keep on writing. So we'll be sending out those invites pretty soon. So getting a lot of traction with Meet the Authors and also the art exhibit. So hopefully we'll keep that going throughout the end of the calendar year, and then hopefully in the futures we'll have more showcasing more talent, local talent here at the Pharr Library, because it's the only place where local talent can actually showcase in a more professional setting. So next we have Ruby showcasing some of the children's activities and programs that we've had, and some of the, I guess, numbers that we've had for the summer reading program. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ruby Ramirez, and I'm the Children's Supervisor for the Pharr Memorial Library and the Development and Research Center. So I'm going to be discussing a couple of items, our division KPIs, right, our special events programs, a couple of new stuff, and then our upcoming projects. So starting off with our May events. So we had 1,382 impressions. That's how many people walked into our division during the month of May. And then programs, we had a total of 104. 62 of those were for general children, so that is 12 and under, anybody who's 12 and under. And then 42 of those were dedicated specifically for toddlers. And then general attendees was 402. And then toddler attendees was 348. And then we did have registrations of in May for our summer reading program of 128. That number did go up. Our final number for registrations for our summer reading program was 378, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, that's we're very proud of that. And then impressions for the month of June was 1,737. So there was a spike. That was because of our summer reading program. And then programs themselves, we had 89. 65 of those were for the general children, and then 24 of those were specifically for toddlers. And then attendees for general was 650, and then toddlers 247. And then we did introduce our children's authors talks. So those were local authors who have been reaching out to us during the entire school year. We welcome them to come by and do little workshops, not only read to the children, but have a session afterwards where they get to teach children what the process of creating your own book basically is, whether it's writing, whether it's the illustration, whether it's creating the idea themselves, so brainstorming with the kiddos. And for those during the month of June, we did have a total of 2, and between those 2 and our different sessions, we had 124 attendees. And then educational presentations, those were taking place on Saturdays at 2 p.m. We had 3 of them, and the attendees for those were 154 of them. So partnerships that we ended up gaining was our local author, Ling Tran, aka Michikuna. Her book was The Little Explorer. Yes, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, she just created this past year. She's also a professor at UTRGV. She had reached out to us, and we thought it was a great idea to start our children's authors talks during the summer. And then the other author would be author Alejandro Ochoa with their, with the book Mosna and On the Island of San Lorenzo. They're also working with what I like to call the RGV's chocolate factory. So they were also very kind to give us some tickets so we can raffle them out for families to go and take a tour to their chocolate factory afterwards. So that was great. The other partnership that we had for educational presentations was the Fragile Planet Wildlife Park. They started off with us I want to say 7 or 8 years ago, and they had just moved from Watertown, New York, and they were starting their safari park, and they still didn't have enough to create the entire safari park. So this year was their anniversary. So they also brought up some tickets for the safari park, and then some $5 discounts to give out to the kiddos. So we got to raffle those out, a family pack of I think 5 or 4 after their presentation, and that was a hit. And then the other partner was Creative Art Studios, and then the Texas A&M Forest Service. So they came and talked about, about wildfires and Smokey the Bear. So they're relaunching Smokey the Bear, and kids really like that presentation. And then throughout all of these Saturday presentations, I also want to mention a big shout out to our Parks and Rec department. Our Parks and Rec manager, Adam, was kind enough to give us tickets for families to attend that park. So every Saturday, we were raffling out family packs. So for those families who maybe weren't participating in our summer reading program, so they also had an opportunity to, know where our park was at and have that experience. And then for July, the projected number of impressions is going to be 1,700, more or less the same as our June numbers. And then programs, we're having 81, and then general, for the general children, 60 of them, and then toddlers are going to have 21. Attendees that we're expecting is going to be around the 650s, and then for toddlers is going to be around 250. And then authors talks for this month, we are going to have 8, and then we're expecting around the same number of attendees, so around 150 attendees. And then educational presentations on Saturdays, 3, and then attendees around 90, not 900. And then this month we did have author Maria Luisa, who came by with her book, You Can Do It, Chickadee, which is basically a book about, mental health and how to teach children about different mental disorders, right? So either depression, anxiety, things like those. And then we also had Tessie Ledesma with Polly the Possum. And then we're going to have Patty York Raymond and Dave Mendoza III come by towards the end of the month and have their own authors talk with us. And then partners that we gained was going to be first position dance studio, and then our very own City of Pharr's Public Works Department. They're going to be, they helped us out with our trolley tours, so we did get to launch a trolley tour for children this year, and that was the last Saturday. That's what we presented. We did 2 trolley tours. The first one was low on numbers, but we kind of were expecting that, and we're hoping for that because there were toddlers, and we just kind of wanted to have a good eye on everyone. And then the one at 2 p.m. was for general children, and I want to say the parents enjoyed it a lot more than the kiddos. They had a blast. They were like, you all need to do this like a lot more often. They were asking if we were going to have our 4 p.m. one. Unfortunately, we had to cancel that one because it also fell on the same day that we had 2 outreach events, and it was the last day to turn in summer reading reports for the kiddos. So we were like, I don't think we can handle this much all at the same time. So we ended up canceling that one, and parents were kind of disappointed. They were like, let us know when you guys are going to do another one so we can take part of it. And then for summer reading program, overall numbers. So registries, we did have around 380, and then general children were 328, and then toddlers we had 52. Total of books read during the summer, I'm very impressed with this number, 8,000. And then with our goal of children who completed it, I just found out about this one. So we had 250, that's how much I was estimating, and we actually had 365. So that was almost all the children who registered who did complete this year's summer reading program. So that was great. And I want to say, I think it might have been because of our children's Smart Shop earning. So in the past, we used to give kids book books, which were similar to our Buddy Bucks. And this year, what we did was we found a way to incorporate credits to their library cards. So now their library cards kind of serve as a credit card. So now they're able to save that and take it on with them for the next year and the following year. So we were able to give children basically $1 per book that they were reading. So every time they turned in a pack of 10, they gained $10. And as they were, registering for the program, we were giving them $20 to start off, right? So that was kind of encouraging kids to continue coming to the library, spending their money, constantly asking us when we were going to add more things to the store because they were like, well, we earned this. And then, so the projected earnings for the store were $5,000. Honestly, that number is a little skewed right now, but yes, we basically had a lot of kids participate, a lot of money earned. So that store is going to be open up until the 31st, and we're going to continue building on that for the following years. And so this is the flyer for our summer reading program. The goals for the toddlers was 50 books. We put toddlers on there. That was newborns through children who weren't going to school yet, so preschoolers. And then we understand that they can't read, so it was mainly the parents doing the reading. If they attended the toddler activities, the toddler-specific activities, which you can see in the booklet that I gave you all. This is the little booklet. So we had our toddler-specific activities going on every weekday at 11. And our toddler moms really liked the consistency of that because sometimes they weren't able to make it, sometimes they were, and if they were around the town, and they knew they can come to the library at 11 and we were going to have something ready for them. So if they attended those activities, we would also give them credits for a book. And then for the children, they just had to read a total of 20 books this year. And then our activity, or our party is going to take place on the 25th. And we are projected to have anywhere from 400 to 500 attendees, parents and children, maybe more, but I'm hoping, yeah. But yeah, that's what we have planned out for them. They are going to get a free snack, which is going to be basically corn dogs, slushies, water provided by our public utilities team, and then we have chips that go along with that. And we have our prizes for all our grand prize winners. So every child who participated and continued reading, we will be giving the grand prize to the top readers. And then we are going to have a top prize for the top reader for the entire program, which was a little boy who, he made me laugh with his reports. He was reading everything from like the nonfiction to the fiction and everything in between, but his reports were really funny. But these are our upcoming events. We're still trying to get the Family Place Library grant for the DRC, and then the program, ended on the 12th. We're going to have a Wild About Wildlife Day on the 18th of this month. That's going to be a collaboration with our urban ecologist, Mr. Remy Vargas. He's going to be, and then we are going to be using a Project Wild kit. So it's about bird adaptation. So not only is he going to be teaching children about bird adaptations, but maybe about different birds. So he's going to be taking Q&A from the children during the day, and that's happening tomorrow from 9 to 5. And then we have our party on the 25th, and then another collaboration with our urban ecologist is going to be Flutter to the Library, where he's going to be teaching children about butterflies, pollinators, other pollinators, and children are going to be creating seed bombs that day. Also, with a Texas Wild, the Project Wild, it's a kit that's provided by them. It's a free kit that we're going to have at our library for 2 weeks. And then more information on the summer slide. In regards to this, we're thinking of launching next year a survey where parents can basically bring in their children's test scores at the end of the year, and then if they would like to, this isn't mandatory or this isn't a requirement for the summer reading program, but they can do that, give us this test scores for their children, and then give us their test scores basically, or let us know what their test scores are 3 months into the school year, into the following school year, to see if if there has been a change, if children who participated in our summer reading program basically stayed at the same level, or if they declined, things like those, just to continue kind of gauging and seeing how much of a difference we make throughout the summer with all of these wonderful programs that we work on. And then the flyer, this little pamphlet that we gave you, instead of spending on booklets and things like, or not booklets, folders and a bunch of extra paper, we decided to create these booklets. And they have all the important information, dates, and then all our summer reading program, programs, daily activities. And then in the middle, because we wanted to go based off of our, our summer reading program theme, we added a coloring page for the kiddos. And then the information in the back was provided in Spanish. Any questions, concerns? I know, I went a little fast.
No. Just
I wish I could have added photos of our Saturday presentations and our authors' talks and things like those, and all the wonderful work that the children's team did this year, because it was 3 activities instead of 2, and they're jam-packed.
No, but thank you for such a strong summer reading program participation.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, it's amazing from what Safari,
Yeah.
Safari expos to chocolate factories, children's
Yeah.
smart shops.
Yeah.
I mean, you all are amazing.
Yeah, I ended up accidentally running into a Google review, and that I ended up sharing it with my team yesterday, and I was like, this is why we do what we do, guys. Like this, it's because of, our patrons and their families, and of course the kiddos who love coming to the library, and yeah. So.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So we incentivize reading to keep the kids reading throughout the summer. As you can see, they can earn up to thousands of book coins, in my opinion, but it's virtual money that can only be spent at the library. So, and that's why we do what we do.
Keep it in Pharr.
Yes, keep it at the library. It's all virtual. It's like crypto money. Sometimes you have a lot, sometimes you have a little. So it all depends how much you read. So we encourage our parents and our kids to continue going to the library. The theme for this summer Lucha Libros is Champions Read. So I would encourage kids to continue reading, because they'll be champions at the end of the day if they continue reading. And they'll be millionaire readers, because they'll get that crypto book coins from the library if they continue reading at the library. Like Ruby said, we're going to continue doing the book coins. Remember, book coins. Yeah. First developed at the Pharr Memorial Library, so that kids can have an idea of how to, virtual financial,
Literacy.
knowledge that was developed with our children in mind here at the Pharr Memorial Library. Any questions? I know it's overwhelming, it's a lot of information, but I would encourage our library board, if you know someone who maybe doesn't have a lot to do, to send them to the library. We'll put them to read, we'll put them to work, And at whatever teens, adults, children, even interns, we take interns at the library, we take work studies, and other volunteers to come and join us. I do want to mention the Friends of the Library. We're also very fortunate to have a Friends of the Library group. They have their own nonprofit there at the library, and every book you buy there directly benefits the library. And I sincerely appreciate those friends that we have. They've been there a very long time, even before I was here. And if you want to become a member, please do so. Ms. also has more information on that. You want me to say your phone numbers and call you? No, just kidding. No, reach out to the library and we'll give you more information if you want to become a Friends of the Library member, and we'll put you to work at the Friends bookstore. It's called, I don't remember, what is the name of the bookstore? Twice Sold Tales. So every book that we have there has been read once, so somebody else can benefit from it. We do sell at a very, very low price. Thank you very much. Ms. Olga, do you have any information on the board? If not, that'll conclude my report. Don't forget, next meeting is in September.
No, I just want to highlight your excellent progress in the door count and the revenue and for obtaining that funding for the HLS. So just thank you so much for your hard work. Is there any other business to discuss or any other comments? No?
All right, well, I hope you liked our update.
We're certainly in agreement with you. That's, the work that they are doing is excellent, and
Yeah, I do thank you for your support, and I'll relay that information to the rest of the staff.
Okay. So do I have a motion to adjourn? Okay.
Oh, yes, and a lot of this brought a lot, the reason we did it is to make sure we had more kids get the library cards, encourage them to use it at the library. So
That's an excellent idea.
Sorry, I forgot to add it on there.
Okay, so thank you so much for your participation, and meeting is adjourned.